And give it all.
No, that's important.
You got it right. Speak, I was handing you guys out bills, Paul Buckman and Dave Wilson.
Tank car culverts. They're taking tank cars and welding them together and making culverts out of
Yeah,
it.
we've used probably 3 or 4 in the county.
Huh. Well, that's one way of getting rid of the tank cars, I guess.
At least 4 of them. Two up up on the county
I think
line.
we've done 4 total, haven't we? Saved us quite a bit.
Adam Shutt will not be here today, so I put Cindy Mears at 9 o'clock.
Okay, and if we got any questions, Adam said feel free to call him.
Okay.
Did you see the bridge package? Complete bridge plank package. On the back side of that culvert thing. Up to 89 feet long. I don't know what the weight limit is on them, but.
Probably strong enough to hold a bicycle.
Trails.
Well, in Johnson County, they were back and putting in some wood bridges.
I see that.
They was saying,
Oh, yeah. I thought that's what you guys are gonna give to me. I think that's a threader.
I think that is special plan we look at. Yeah, just. Decent. Yeah. It was. Trash, yeah. I appreciate that. I have it.
We owe $3 million.
Water, some kids ain't gonna be able to count on this 20-30% chance. I've lost 2. And one of them was a real scrape, I'm sure you want to plant right out of the way.
What's the acronym? The PCORI taxes. What does that mean?
What?
PCORI taxes
Where are you seeing that at?
on the expense register.
So 3 of them in there.
4.
Oh, the Picori, that's, let me see.
That's like
You got the.
there.
Yeah, that's
Already went back.
like a yearly
yeah, that's
thing.
what
Do you know the special claims period?
Oh, yeah, you have to look at a lot of school instructions.
It's for our tax period. It's got to.
I just wondered what the acronym was for. I trust you. I'm just trying to
I have to
learn all these acronyms so I can.
Me too.
You know, it's like I said, the 2 Orions and one's been.
Well, didn't we approve this one last time though?
But then
The
the
Evolve one? We approved that one last,
You said.
$87,000 Evolve one. Last.
This other one. And then.
The meeting.
Yeah, I'll talk about it.
Yeah.
And it said that most of its work is done in European Union.
And what these guys do, these guys go out and get all the
Yeah, then down.
I's dotted, T's crossed. They don't have to do the solar, but they're working for the company to make sure that they get all the grants and everything.
Well, let's, we have to do the pledge of allegiance, but this thing started.
Yeah. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, so the only change we have is just, adding Cindy to the.
moving her up.
That's already on there.
It's
It's
already-
already on there. That's on there. Okay. That's what I was looking at. It looks good. Okay, I'll make a motion to approve today's agenda for July 25th, 2023.
Second,
Okay, you got a motion, a second, all in favor?
Aye. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes for July 18th, 2023.
Second.
Okay, got a motion, a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Meetings attended.
I had a pretty quiet week. A lot of emails to catch up on though.
I had, we had our 911 meeting last week. And, we ended up voting in, I think it's, for, allocations for radio pagers and stuff after the departments would put a price on it. I'm not sure if it's decided for being in the paper, but it's, we finally got a procedure now that followed through and kind of makes it more of a guideline on it. And EMA, we had a meeting, the 19th of July, so it was Wednesday. So Tuesday night I had the 911 and Wednesday night I had the EMA meeting. And here's everything that we had, the EMA. Oh, good, railroad's still moving forward, we talked about that, like we're getting all the crossings and track, the ties. And we got some meetings coming up, we'll have with the fire departments, first responders, stuff like that coming up. Trying to think what else we talked about there. We're just here for now. I don't remember all that would have been in there, but it was, it's still working on bidding on the roof out there. I got to get a thing together for Selena to put out for bidding. That's it.
I texted you both about Yinkle wanting to use the lot to burn. If he can't burn them down or unless he's got a hot dog hanging over it all the time. So it's
Wouldn't
good.
be much lead in that paint either, would it?
No,
Being red and everything. As long as the winds were favorable, that's the only thing that I had, but
well, and he was gonna just
yeah.
a little bit at a time,
Yeah.
not one big roaring inferno.
From what I understand, it's gonna dig a pretty good sized hole, put it in a hole, burn it. And cover it all up when he's done.
Yep. But he can't get real deep out there because of the
Yeah.
water table.
Yeah.
So, I've handed,
Special claims
you're
went
looking at
that
the
way.
special claims, we've looked at the.
Only thing on special claims was I thought we'd approved the Evolve one last meeting. 87,
But then I had to put it on as a special claim to get it paid.
okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
You want to make a motion on it?
Sure, I'll make a motion to approve the special claims for July 25th, 2023.
Second thing.
You got a motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, payroll, we have an employee that left us, a jailer that
Got a raise.
got a raise. And it's length of service increase. But there's the sheriff's quarterly report, we just reviewed it, we don't. We don't have to make no motions on it, just.
Well, I got 3 new squad cars I lettered last week, so. Actually, 1 new one and 2 used ones, but new to us, I guess. It should be in service here pretty soon.
Dawn, can I go back to your question about the quarry claim?
Yes,
It's Patient Centered Outcomes Research Institute. It's employers who sponsor self-funded medical plans, including HRAs.
Okay.
And we're required to report and then pay the fee. That was the fee.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
you're welcome.
So this is a quarterly report from the sheriff's office.
Yeah.
This is the first one I've seen. So I'm gonna ask a couple questions if it's okay.
Good.
Um. So it says, it goes through this pretty lengthy fees and stuff, and it says total due county treasurer. So that comes out of treasurer's budget then?
Is that for, when we serve notices of tax?
Yeah, notices, fingerprints. Publications. Or sheriff's deeds, trust fund. I just wanna know what I'm looking at, I guess, so I understand it. I got all the receipts here, there's tons of receipts. And it's all compiled into the third page.
I think a lot of it's civil.
I mean, I'm sure it's just monies that are being accounted for.
This looks like revenue they've had come in
There's,
and.
which is,
And then that's all deducted out, so it's
Mhm.
all this from that
Mhm.
equals that. Credit receipt details. So this is revenue.
Is that, yeah,
Yeah. Fees,
Yeah.
fingerprints. So like on fingerprints, who pays? Is it the person that's getting fingerprinted? Not that it's a lot of
I
money.
know, but it looks like they're being reimbursed for it right there. So there's 120 and then 120 goes
Mhm.
out.
Mhm.
Do they not have this?
It has a beginning balance, credits, debits.
This is not on your agenda today.
it's
Yeah,
probably gonna be part of
Cindy's office
Cindy's
is
report.
closed today, so I can't ask her.
I might go
Well,
and
it says
talk to
yes,
her
it
about
says
that, just so I
yeah,
have it
sure.
straight in my mind. I mean, I'm okay with. Just kind of wanna know how. it
Yeah,
works.
let me. Tracy Holidays. Number.
It's fine. If you make a copy of that page we were looking at, then I can go into her and just at least ask, so I can. Seem somewhat knowledgeable on what's
She
going on.
has it on here, it's on that second one. Proof. It's on there.
I'm sure it has something to do with. Taxes and reimbursement through property taxes or something, but. That is the one thing I will have to say, it's awfully difficult to understand the flow of. County money,
Mm-hmm.
it comes from so many different sources and it goes out in so many different ways.
Yeah, and then when there's argument on, when there's a divorce or something, they'll have a court supposed to be on the courthouse steps, the sheriff thing, and that gets all billed back to the treasurer, and it's weird, yeah. It's like the old town hall used to have, it just old rules.
Yeah. Yeah, I love government. It would seem like,
Gotta have an additional special.
easier way to do this, but.
It is on there, it's under 7, but it's up there, limited things, so.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sure, here's your claims.
Cindy's time, or if she wants to come in. Like she's pounding away on the key.
They got that concrete all done out there. Bypass around, Grand, yeah. It was cutting it yesterday. Good thing.
Well, on the intersection, it can only.
Yeah, but that traffic, I don't think stops. I think it really slowed down.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be 4%, I thought.
Do you mind if I go out and call Tracy about this to explain
Do it, we got.
what we take?
They got mine
Right here now.
It's basically,
What we gotta do about her additional wage too, we gotta get that.
Yeah, I was, see what, how much time she thinks it's taking her. I,
You heard anything on Paul?
no, I'm gonna texting right now about. Well, you know, Muscatine County come down and looked at it, Des Moines County has sent for resume, and they sent stuff here. Where are we at? I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I just like to get somebody in there.
Well, yeah.
Get a 2080 and.
It's just an intersection. Off of 244, yeah. I think unless it's where the trucks. Yeah. He said.
Tracy lives in the auditor's office, and they're sniffing dogs in the blind, they've had to put it out of service.
Oh, did it?
That's on field.
They got some rare items. Need to make a few of our deep pocketed donors aware of that.
Well, we got a grant.
That's supposed to be too.
Well, but Travis put a lot of money in.
Yeah.
Pavement underneath it.
Is it up for adoption?
It is staying with the handler.
Okay.
It's the treasury report, the credit receipt details, and it's 22,914.99. That's revenue given
Did we know it's going blind? Just didn't say anything or just happened?
It just kind of suddenly happened, the dog got this,
Well, is that our dog?
the real drug dog, yeah.
Too close.
Oh, we gotta take it out of service then immediately?
Probably
Yeah.
was a fentanyl sniff.
They got it took out immediately, and it's still.
Think about it.
Don't care.
On a dog that sniffs a lot, the fentanyl will kill it instantly. Yeah. Heck, if you touch it.
Yeah.
You go through your skin. Yeah, we've had, what, 2 fentanyl just in the last 3 weeks.
They just wanna get in their head about. it's-
And
Our last one was 44 concrete out of Dean's Swing Shed, he didn't show up, he finally showed up about noon that day. He said, where the hell you been? Everybody's been waiting on you to get here, and he said, I lived at such and such, and he said that dope sniffing dog come up, and bit me in the ass and threw me in jail. And it doesn't work quick back then, he'd do anything, you know. His old man come up, run that concrete for him.
Oh, yeah.
That's who taught Doug how to do everything.
Oh, yeah.
But his old man was a worker at 70 years old, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Think the dog do anything or what?
Yeah. I just didn't read any better than the ad.
I just didn't wanna say it out loud.
It looks like it.
I suited up around Indiana, the state had a couple dogs and we had drugs and stuff, but I suited up, put that suit on. And I thought I was pretty strong and dogs had me all over the ground. Just amazing how strong they are. But that suit on there, I didn't have to worry about them biting me, but I had to worry about like the helmet thing coming off because it was on there and something strapped down. So I was kind of hanging on there, I was pushing on as well I could, but it wouldn't get to my face. Yeah, yeah. But they had me down. Yeah. They're pretty cool.
I suppose they get you off balance.
Oh, they did. Yeah, they both.
Yeah.
One got me from the back leg, the other one got me from my arm. And they just had me fall over the ground, they was dragging me. Right.
This is revenue they've taken in
We had a diesel truck and they had.
This is
cocaine
checks
behind my fuel tank.
from like the
It's
DOT,
like diesel and-
county.
That they had to pay out.
that they had, no, the checks came to the sheriff's office and then they signed them
One
over
of my
to the
friends
treasurer's
Okay.
office.
down there,
Or-
the state trooper, got hit on the highway.
Yeah, like,
We still-
she said, fingerprinting somebody
Good one,
that,
dog.
didn't
Dog was in
have
a
their
car
driver's license.
Yeah, so
So,
those are actually credits
yeah,
and these are debits.
yes.
I got it.
Yeah.
Well, they work their
Yep.
dogs all.
Okay, makes sense.
You're,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Okay. I figured that's what it was, but it's nice to not just approve something and actually kind of know what's going on.
Cindy, if you're ready to start early, we're here.
Yeah, sure.
So first, we will go with the county guidelines for general assistance. I assume you all got a copy of those and was able to go through those. Adam Parsons did go ahead and approved, didn't see anything negative in there, and so. That would be my first.
This morning, they look good.
Okay, great. Yep, and it is changing the income guidelines, so
And now we're gonna stay with the feds.
federal
so
poverty
We don't
guidelines.
have to worry about, because we was not really set up that way before, so.
Right, yeah.
I'm gonna go and do the motion to approve the new GA guidelines, get that part out of the way. That's my motion.
I'll second that.
Okay, we got a motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good, thank you.
All right, thanks. And then we did get the directories done, and so I have those. These are the new directories. They went to print and they're back.
Same format.
Yeah, we kept the same.
I like it.
And I have plenty of them, so if anybody needs them or needs that. Any group that needs them in Wise County or whatever, or, you know, a place that they need to sit out at or
Do you want me to take some to the courthouse?
Sure,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, you can do
Cindy, what part on these makes them obsolete as far as?
places closed down, there's businesses in there, like dentists. From the last one, there was medical places that were no longer in. I mean,
So just nutrition. if that's-
yeah, I mean, it's like a phone book, so things changed. And it had been 3 years, I guess it was 2020 when we did it last time, so. Yeah,
And where'd that end up
Staples, I did go with Staples.
Staples and
Yeah,
what
they
they
were-
come out.
They were right at 2,800, I think, something like that.
So
It was
what's-
almost $1,000.
Okay. That's where it does.
Yeah. They actually hand folded them and they all look amazing.
Yeah, they did
Like,
good.
if you guys wanna do that, go for it. But they gave me a great quote, so I went with it, so.
Okay, good.
They do match Henry County and Des Moines County directories. They have the same similar formats, everything, yeah. Yep, and so that was why we went with that format 3 years ago. So
And how's that funded through your budget?
several different, on the front of that, you'll see the funding sources. It's not all through my budget at all. It's through community action, through, CPPC, the Children Protective. I can't remember. It says on there.
That all goes toward the funding of printing.
Of printing the directories, yeah. Yeah. And then they all receive directories so they can hand them out also, because they all have Louisa County clients that they can. I'll go to interagency August 3rd and give a bunch out there, and so,
It's important. It's good.
yeah. Yeah, I was really surprised that people still wanted a paper copy, but yeah, they were all really wanting that, so we pressed forward, so. It's all good. And then Salvation Army, had a thing where they gave free backpacks, and since I'm the representative for Louisa County, I did go ahead and ask for them. I contacted our local schools to see if they could use them and how many, and we did end up with 420 backpacks, so those go into the
job.
schools. Wapello has theirs, Morning Sun has theirs, Columbus Jackson's gonna pick them up, and L&M, I'm still trying to get over with them, but. So yeah, that was a really good deal. And then the mobile food pantry, it takes place tomorrow. They are still seeing about 175 households, so that's going really well. The food pantry here in town in June saw 33 households. That was 95 individuals that were served with food for the month of June. For June in our office, the phone was 67 and 19 was our foot traffic. We had 3 notice of decisions come through our office. All of them were denied for various reasons, but Salvation Army was able to assist in most of those. So with our guideline changes, it'll be interesting to see how that changes with county funding, so.
How's the state doing with protein now? Is it starting to get more meats back into the system or the store?
There's still some struggles there, but I mean, there is food in the food pantries, and so that's good, but we could use more meats, and they do have peanut butter back in there, so.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Because there for a while it was non-existent, so.
right, yeah, it was very, very low, and the school food pantry did go to just serving school clients, and so,
Well, they did change that.
they did, so our numbers have gone up some, but it's all worked out really well.
Was that something the school made a change or
The
is
school
it?
decided to do that, yeah, their shelves were getting pretty low month after month, and so, it was getting difficult for them to serve their families, so.
And who watches over that? So if they get an excess on it or don't go out of date,
It's the ones that run the food pantry, so it's different people in different food pantries, like Kathy Barrett is our director here.
does this one, but
There's Don Shipman, there's, Lynn Prophet, there's. Another one. But yeah, they take care of it. They do the deliveries. The delivery will come in this Wednesday, and so they'll stock shelves and maybe get some help through different, like football team or student council or things like that, so. Yeah, and Kathy does the same thing there. She kind of asks for help around and. Yeah.
So I just wondered during the off time when the students are not in school.
They're still open once a month,
Yeah,
so,
they still get the same amount of foot traffic you would have if it was attending school hours.
yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't gotten their numbers in a little while, so I don't have their summer numbers at all to know if they're still, I know they went from 2 down to 1 time a month for the summer. They kept it during the summer, they have summer school program, and so they kept one of the times during that program, so they see a lot of families then.
Okay.
They still do the summer food program.
They do, yes, yeah,
Lunch thing, so.
yeah, and it's super helpful.
I was worried about if they had some proteins like raw meats and stuff that's frozen. If we have to put into, and then they just got it out to the school. And they get allocated the same as what they used to when it was open to the public. I just didn't want to make sure we had
I
waste
see
to.
what you're saying. Yeah, I know they were running
Wow.
so low that, yeah, I think everything's kind of back to being
No.
over there now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just,
Yeah, and we're not running out in our pantry at all, and the school food pantry doesn't have the funding to be able to go out and purchase,
Right.
whereas our food pantry does, so. In Columbus Junction, they get money to be able to stock their pantry also through different grants and programs, so.
Yeah. we got
So yeah, all the food pantries in Louisa County do have food available, and I haven't heard of anything otherwise. I did have a local general assistance meeting last Friday in Washington, where anybody that's a general assistance director around our area, we've decided that it'd be good to meet twice a year, just to kind of run things through with guidelines and with how things are going in the offices, and just to make sure our offices are all improving and not staying stale, and so it went really well. We had 5 different counties represented, I think, last Friday. Some of them couldn't attend, but yeah, good conversation around general assistance, so.
excellent. Yeah, thank you.
Any questions?
Glad to have you back.
Yeah, good to be back. Thank you.
I think it's fun to stop by and get some other groceries.
Okay, sounds great.
Okay.
Somewhere we all three had to sign on this.
Yeah.
I'll get that one.
Yeah, on that one.
Initial it.
No, it's on there's a signage page.
Probably the back page or
Second or third one back.
Oh, my God. I just kind of reading it over. There you go.
Right, you have a good day. You have a good day.
Busy day. I got 2 systems going down. Gonna be running all over the country.
How's the water testing going?
Right now it's going good. Done a lot of tests this month, but they're taking away my pickup person. So instead of me calling in and telling them how many boxes I got, they come and get it.
Where do you gotta meet them at?
Now they're doing away with all the environmental. And they want to send me UPS stickers at either $10 or $20 a piece. And then I'm gonna take them to the farm store. Bruce is working on it right now. He's trying to see if Greenville County's gonna cover me because
Just get all the.
it'll be upside down for us. I mean, for the money that the county gets. And that starts February 1st, August 1st, so we're trying to.
Where does the testing go to?
Coralville, the State Hygienics Lab, and also Ames. If I do arsenic and manganese, it goes to Ames. Coliform bacteria, E. coli, and nitrates go to Coralville.
And how often do you send stuff off? Once a month?
Weekly.
Weekly, I sent 6 boxes off last week, and I sent 3 yesterday.
How many's come back positive this time you go around?
Actually, believe it or not, I had sampling come back perfect. It's no nitrates in it, which is kind of odd. Eden Park, I had tested it, it come back bad.
Makes sense. It's sat dormant for so long.
Next shocked.
It even looked better when I was trying, I mean, I let it sit there and run for 15 minutes.
1 minute it been clear, next minute it'd be yellow.
Did they chlorinate it?
They said they did.
And it
It
came,
wasn't real high, it was like a 7.2. It wasn't like 200.5 off the charts, but
yeah,
it still has.
so they're gonna chlorinate it again, or?
Mhm.
Is your people coming in?
Mr. Coontz is supposed to be coming in.
Okay, well, you're not for another 25 minutes.
Do you want?
I just figured they'd come in early, and if he did, I know sometimes.
Yeah, we can do
that. Out again. That's a pretty easy one. It's Wayne versus old place. So
Right.
you know where it's at. I
Yeah.
know they do. but
They talked to me about it in February.
On the ferry land, we really. It's right after you go by that sewer again, it's the first place on the left. Wouldn't have to do a subdivision, but the house has got to be separate from the sheds because of the boys. One boy wants the house, then both boys have the sheds, and then the one naturally around.
So they water test, it's been pretty,
Pretty good. I've had, one that's been about to do 5 houses one day, it's the same guy owned them all in remnants. And, only had one come back bad, but. I was pretty skeptical when I walked in there. I think I know why. I don't think it was the well.
Well, Brian, are you ready to give us your monthly update or?
Yeah, I'll just give you the highlights of my day. So with emergency management, a couple things we've been working on. We being, for instance, Cindy and I representing Louisa County and the Louisa Muscatine Disaster Coalition. And every year you guys have a lineup of committees you sort out, and that's one we were tagged with, but nobody knew what that was because the name has changed a couple of times.
Mhm.
But I've been active in that. And so partner up with Louisa Muscatine to share resources because they come support us, and then not much we can do to support them, but we share the same nonprofit groups like Red Cross, Salvation Army, and this kind of thing.
Awful, isn't it? That's what I keep telling them.
Just let me chime in. Anyway, so from that, we're having a good turnout. We go to Muscatine, Louisa County EMA, Muscatine County EMA. The host of that is United Way. And they're our fiduciary for that, so we're gonna create it, we already have created a 501(c), so we can start kind of collecting some funds for quick disaster recovery, so we don't have to jump through those have some money. And then from that, then it's the Red Cross, it's Salvation Army, and these are kind of people that will help in our immediate response to help people after disaster, tornadoes, high winds, and things like that. And they jump into action, and then so we're just all common players. And we all have a role, but then we bring in other people. We need to know who's going to be our county veterinarian, and so I've talked to Dr. Talhada. And we bring in those kind of players to say, in an emergency, we'll be calling on you. So I'm part of the executive committee, and then we just have all the peripheral people with that as well. And in support of that, I've just learned and listened in on another couple of groups, the Iowa Disaster Human Resource Council. That's just a group of emergency managers and like-minded people, sponsored and supported by the state, to offer resources in emergencies. So if you have a problem, get over your head, you can call them. They can help kind of guide you through the steps to help recover. And they had a guest speaker, and they were the IT for information technology, the IT Disaster Recovery Center. So Sean, you might remember in our last LAPC and Jim, that one of the concerns was communication, because we need instant communications after a big disaster, high wind or tornado. And that was going to be a problem. So US Sailor said they could come in and support some of that. But this IT Disaster Recovery Center, he was the guest speaker, and he represented kind of what they do. And they're very active right now, even up to including around the world in disasters are deployed. And they come to small scale events and large scale events. So I got that guy on my radar, got him in my speed dial. So if we have a community go off the grid, that these kind of people can come in and help stand it back up, internet, telephone, all those kind of things. They have their own response equipment staged around this country. Making good progress with that. So I'll be bringing that kind of information to our local disaster council, just build this whole resource of library resources. Similarly, then, Sean, you were at the LAPC meeting where we had a tabletop exercise for the economic recovery support function. That's kind of how we fleshed out some of these needs after disaster. And from that, I was gonna have to develop this plan for economic recovery. And so I submitted that to the Emergency Management Council last week. Adopted and supported that. But that's what fleshed out of that, just kind of listed all the players in local recovery. Then, so on the radar is the multi-jurisdictional hazard mitigation plan that we keep talking about, due in 2025. I've elicited support and action from South and South Regional Planning, up to including let them in on the grant application. They submitted a notice of interest, so they'll not only be the architect of that plan, the plan update, but they'll also manage the grant, and which also covers their funding for their participation. And the cost of that would be, for that, writing that plan would be about $31,000. So it's a 75-25 grant, so we'd have to come up 25% of that. And I need to stay engaged with that, because even though it's due into 2025, you hand it off to the state and they'll sit on for 6 or 8 weeks, looking at it before they hand it off to the FEMA, who will sit on for 6 months. So there is kind of a time schedule, and that's where we're getting the community involvement, which is why I've been around all the city councils talking about here it comes. Other than that, for emergency management, at the commission meeting, I just updated on everybody on the spring flood. And I said in front of you guys one meeting, I said, we have no reportable damage to help meet the threshold for the state for public assistance. But then in one of my meetings, they said the Louisa County had met the threshold, which was impossible because I hadn't turned anything in. Only to learn that new part of the formula is DNR reports for themselves and REC will report for themselves, adding those dollars to that threshold. So for a brief moment, we met the threshold. And then at the next meeting, they said we did because DNR adjusted their numbers, so we fell out of the threshold. We didn't really have any damage from the screen time flood or high water yet. Back to that, Louisa County Disaster Coalition for Louisa Muscatine. One thing I'm bringing into that group will be just the education about that IT recovery center, but also a thing called MARC training. So it's multi-agency resource center. So after disaster, these people I mentioned, the Red Cross, Salvation Army, we'll get together in one location. So people, affected people could come to one location and start getting the resources they need after a big event. So they're not scattered. They're not going to run around and do all these things. We'll set up one of these spots, and it'll probably be right in conjunction with a major shelter. So you just have to imagine a big shelter in the Muscatine area to be like the Calvary Church, and they're part of our group. But that's the kind of activity we're doing, getting together and gearing up. And how that can, you can look at that too, for Louisa County. This year during the spring high water event, they did this scenario that what if the water gets high? What if it was like 93? What if like the levee were to break in the bottom, Muscatine bottom area? And I just kind of prepare the group to say all those affected people would be heading for high ground, which would be Grandview. So those are the kind of things that the worst case scenarios we start to look at and predict if we needed help and action. Last thing for emergency management, I would say in the legislation this year, they were trying to redesign how the emergency management commissions, local commissions are funded. And then, for instance, the way you guys support emergency management would be just out of the general supplemental. And so I prepare a budget, we review it, and really it is, there's nothing extra in our budget, but then it comes out of general supplemental. So there's some concern of how that's happening, that it's going to be realignment. They want that to come right out of whatever this tax levy is, the county. I don't know what line that's going to come out of. It's going to be a new line, but it won't be out of the general supplemental. It's going to be, and then similarly, they wanted to redesign what the commission looks like, the membership of the breakdown of the commission. Right now being the sheriff, one more supervisor, and the mayors of each town. Well, they wanted the sheriff to be the mandatory chairman with no vote. All the members of the board of supervisors on the committee with one vote, a combined vote, and then all the mayors from every city with one vote, and then president of the board of education for each district. with one vote. And that just was seen not to be a good mix. So I got pushed back and then it got dropped off the legislation. That membership I'm talking about, I think echoes what the assessor's board looks like. That's what they're trying to do, is just get more taxpayer representation. So it will probably pass next year to a degree, not with the membership makeup, but just with how it's funded, that's all. That's not that. And then just to give you a safety update, the safety part of what I do, we had our meeting on July 11th. We just discussed some of the recent reported incidents and had discussions about improving those awarenesses. And then we also reviewed the safety manual that was rewritten by Paul, or just edited by Paul, our HR guy. It has some conflicting language in there, and he helped fine tune that, and we'll be able to present that to the board of supervisors just very quickly, very soon. Also in the safety meeting, one of the things we heard common theme was like to have CPR training and first aid training. And I was brought up kind of by secondary roads because they're out and about by themselves. They would like to have at least first aid training and then CPR with that. And then that led to a discussion about AEDs, because that's a proven technology and an affordable solution. And so I thought about looking for grants for AEDs, but that would take forever. But just so you know, I kind of did the survey. County roads said they could use 4 or 5. Conservation said they could start with 2, so there's 7. And public health, I asked what they might need. They have one in their office. I asked about if they wanted one in each car for every nurse that goes around. I don't know if that's right, but that, and then I haven't heard back, but that'd be 4 or 5. So I would say 10 AEDs that cost about $2,000 each.
Where would they be stationed for the county roads, in vehicles?
One in each shop, and then one in their office, I suppose. He mentioned specifically each shop.
I would assume that there's training involved with that.
Yeah, and that'd be the important piece. We'd have to make sure that everybody got their annual training and then with that. So along that same kind of a cost, and for CPR training, just the CPR, I'd had it kind of quoted at, well, possibly $50 a person, participant, up to $75. And so the $75 would give you the CPR, first aid, and AED.
And you've seen Brad's, I forwarded you that. Brad's
Yes.
on that.
I didn't know, I'm
covered.
gonna check with Brad to see if that was meant for me to then reach out to that agency.
I don't know if it was or not, but it was more of a informational. He sent it to me and then I just forwarded it to you. But
Yeah.
It sounds like we're covered under that program to do county employees.
I have to check, but before I contact that person, I wanna make sure that was meant for me to contact them, because I'm probably asking the wrong.
Yeah, check with Brad.
Yeah. But if it was during the budget last year for safety, I'd asked for an additional $3,000 just for CPR. We knew that was gonna come up. And then add that to about the 1,300 that we have available for other programs. So 4,300 divided by 75, we would have funds for 57 people to take this training. Take the training if we can find funds to buy the AEDs.
Yeah, AED's got a shelf life, the pads have got a shelf life. We gotta make sure it's in an area where it's not hot, heat.
Well, that's what I thought about the cars.
Yeah, that'd be kind
We
of.
heard about the cars.
Yeah.
But the
We
squad
do have them
cars,
at the courthouse.
I think the squad cars have them, so I'd have to see how they manage.
I don't know if all of them do, but I think some of them do. But it's. I think the shelf life might be 10 years now. It was a little longer, but I think the unit is 10 years and then the pads are 3 years. I might be wrong. on that.
And the battery's about an annual replacement.
Yeah, so we just have to, when we make this plan up and what it costs, we need to add the nutrition of the equipment too into that cost.
And the training.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough for me. I had mentioned to several people that CPR used to be free. But probably remember taking free CPR and but it used to be kind of a free gig. Now it's pay by head, and I just have a hard time with that.
Well, they used to be all volunteer, like I did it for like 15-20 years instructor, and they used to be, everybody was free. Now they're paid instructors.
Well, we all used to use the same old mannequin too.
Yeah,
Retired that girl, and then
mannequins are
but now mannequins are very
very
expensive.
expensive.
Yeah, and they're all technical. That's all I have, unless you have any questions.
On the mannequins, Wackville Ambulance has mannequins that we might be able to borrow. They have a full set and then, they're kept right at the ambulance base.
I'm sure probably Columbus Junction as well.
Might have, I don't know for sure, but I know about it.
If we paid, for instance, whoever the county contract would be for law enforcement side of that part, they would have their own equipment as well.
And the way that email read, that's for county employees, that's part of the agreement for that training.
Every time I've contacted a couple of people about the training. First question I would ask is, well, how many? I said, well, about 50. And well, wait, they're used to classes of 10, 8, 10, 12. So throw 50 out there and we'd have to be
Several
scheduled
classes.
exam.
I think it's one instructor for 10,
Yeah,
I think
Probably.
10 trainees,
Probably,
I
yeah.
think so. Nope, I think that's good. I think we'll work toward that and get that out there.
and the older I get, I feel more comfortable with more people in the seat.
And an AED close, yeah.
Get that age.
We might have instructors locally.
We do,
I don't
we have
know
a few.
if Jason's an instructor or not.
Yes, he is.
Sam Gillip is.
So Sam, Jason, and there's two more.
Dan Connery.
Yeah, do them here locally and I'd rather pay a local person to do it than.
I think with that deal we have set up with the contract out sheriff's office, I don't know what the cost is, but I don't think there is a cost. Way I kind of took it. That email didn't really get specifics, but we can do all county employees through that agreement that Brad has.
Have to redefine print.
Yeah, I know, we have to talk to him and find out what it is, but I agree with you. We can keep it right across.
got a list of instructors too available to you across that.
Yeah.
But that's who did ours at work every year.
There's a bunch around. That picked the one. American Heart Association is another good one. That's all I got, Phil.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, Brian, we're 10 minutes early. Is anybody else coming for this?
I think it's just you, isn't it?
Just
Yep.
Brent? Okay.
All right, here we go. Let's just use where it's at. And there. That's the plat. So this is the house. This is the sheds. And it has been approved by everybody, so everybody's on board with it.
Just putting the house off.
The house and the sheds.
Yeah. And there's gonna be another place built on that other subdivision part, is that why it's being split off?
It's been, the same part was being split twice. So that's what threw it into it.
Okay.
So I'm splitting the house and then I'm splitting this.
Well,
Everything's good?
meets all the guidelines, so I guess I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that, the Coons Farm subdivision, for approval.
Second.
Okay, got a motion second, all in favor? No, they're both the same.
Yeah,
I'll take that one with me.
Yeah.
Sign anywhere here.
Right over top of.
Yeah, I know, you didn't do that the last time.
That's where you want to sign.
And get me
Did
in
you stamp it
trouble.
on top of it?
Nope, hey, you did good. I did heck good. I should have put it up in the corner, just. The corner. Happy.
Okay.
Okay, then we need to sign the resolution.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I need, has he already signed that? Do I have to sign that? Cause I can't sign or notarize my
Brad.
signature. I'm the only notary in the court.
We just gotta find another department for you to run, so. We'll work on that.
Why don't I just be a board of supervisor too?
We're in the same room, what the hell?
Start today.
I'll give you my keys.
We can appoint you.
All three are signed, you can run this department too.
Okay, I see Vicky Frank has to sign this and she's gone today. Her office is closed. So,
And Vicky Frank's gone today. So she needs to be allowed to come back in. She'll be in tomorrow.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
if you wanted to, when you grab all this paper, we're gonna bring it back in tomorrow and then.
Actually, I'll keep these. Because I'm gonna need to get a hold of a notary out of, to have me and Chris sign this. Will you be in tomorrow can you be in tomorrow to pick these up?
You know, tomorrow might be questionable, but Thursday work,
Mhm,
okay,
mhm.
and where do I go to pick them up?
To the auditor's office,
Okay,
okay,
no, that should be fine,
okay, and then I'll have you take them to the recorder to be recorded, okay?
yeah, so pick them up at the auditor and then take them to the recorder.
Yes,
Yep.
yes, okay.
I'd send him to the sheriff's office first.
I think Brandon's a notary too, if you need it.
Pardon,
I think Brandon's a notary too.
court?
Uh-huh.
Oh,
I
okay,
think so.
I'll get a hold of him,
He might be able to run in and do it.
okay.
Next one. No, I've got my beer money for a while.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So you can. Yeah. Hang around, help me sign all these.
All right, guys, if you're done with me, I'm gonna keep on moving.
We're done.
Keep moving.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks for coming in.
Yep, thanks.
Materials.
Do you want? Okay, who wants? You want any of this stuff back for me?
I'm Trent.
The second Tuesday. I said, dude.
Joelle's.
And then I resent it again to you.
She is also.
She likes that twice. And it never did come.
Joelle's
Never went through.
Oh, okay.
That's what I mean. And then you got it from him. I said, how'd you guys all put it together?
He didn't have it from him, I just had his response. And
That's what I mean. I don't understand. I get that response, how he sent it to you too.
what do you say, it's a second,
That's a second.
Okay, so you can go to the auditor's office then and. What's your name?
Selena.
Oh, you're Selena, okay,
Yeah.
very good.
My husband.
Oh, you bet I
You
did.
go
Yeah,
to that.
related to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna- You.
Yeah. Yeah, you bet.
Another Bruce wanted to sit down and talk to you and Vicky.
Yeah.
And everybody, the county attorney, the whole shebang. That's what he told me, because I talked to him about it too.
Yeah, cause Vicky's the one that brought our attention about. The taxation of the trailer courts that can't be there, campers can't be there more than.
So
so long as they don't have access to that.
I got.
So let's try to address that. I'm sure there's so many.
Tammy did send me that yesterday.
Yeah.
I just want her to always be on.
For St.
This one's like this in here.
Yeah, the way.
Well, all
Yeah.
skirts and.
All of it,
Yep.
okay.
All trailer, camping in our. Do her overpost, and also too, we need to reemphasize about the concrete entrances, yeah. The maintaining of our trailers, it's in there.
Rumor has it, he's trying to sell that out there.
I'm interested by it.
They can talk. He said there was somebody who's trying to sell it, or I don't know where I heard that at. What council?
I think it could be a great asset to our community if it was.
It was run correct, right?
Correctly.
You gotta get people, I don't know who's living in your trailer.
I lived in a trailer for 5 years. Graduated.
Okay, now all we have on our agenda is these. All this homestead property tax.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna ask her.
Was that that was your pointer, that was her pointer,
let's see,
there it is.
I'm gonna see if I can unmute her and ask her to stop in here.
So basically, we just got the, on Adams, I don't know if Joe's got anything you might ask her on that, but the concrete is done out there on the Grandview bypass. I don't know what else we had, I don't know if that bridge is, I don't think that's done yet, I haven't been out there for a couple weeks, but they had a railing and stuff to put on it yet. Yeah, we've been out that way at all.
66,
I don't know if it's right.
It's on 92, but I haven't
Yeah.
turned.
Color.
And so they're coming back later on to do the staffing, paving, whatever on that road.
Yes, sir.
Later on this,
In August.
yeah.
I think they're hauling slag right now, they're hauling something.
Late summer. early-
They got slag and chips both stockpiled up there. Okay, cause I seen trucks going back to there yesterday, but I couldn't tell what they had on. They're putting it there at the corners. Okay. John's place. Gotcha. Have you seen the intersection? Yeah. What did you think the intersection was gonna be? Not that, that's what I said, I thought it'd have a little bit more embankment on it. I think it's been misrepresented to you guys. I was here when he represented it. Yeah. And to me, G44X was gonna be a curve. Yeah. 260th Street. Yeah. It's just an intersection. Right. It's just a plain intersection. Yeah, seeing there's gonna be a stop sign going straight, way I take it. Remember, there's gonna be where you had to stop to go straight. That's why I thought that it was a curve, not an intersection. Not an intersection. But because it's supposed to be a 4-degree, and I thought it was gonna be kind of an embankment. Correct. So, yeah, my mind was not what I see, so I agree with that.
That was kind of how I explained it here.
That's where I took it to. And when I went in there, it's really small. I got a picture of it. If you want to see it. No, I see it by their, we're building a house right down there by it, so I'm driving through there daily, so. Last week I asked him if G44X was gonna be.
Sign this, okay?
160th, rename that, and he said no. So G44X still goes into Grandview though. I don't know how he was gonna direct. Now, I don't know if there's gonna be an island on G44X. Ain't much room. To try to, I don't know.
It's gotta be a bigger intersection than that, or that won't work.
It has to go on the dirt road or the old dirt road side that it was gonna be. Yeah, I wanna wait till he gets here next week and kind of explain that, cause. It's not what I envisioned. Me neither. Yeah, no. And it might work, but I just don't see it yet. Oh, it'll work. It'll work. Not the way I thought. As good as I thought it was gonna be a natural flow that way, and then. Well, we did it 2 or 3 times. We pay to do it 2 or 3 times. I don't wanna do this.
So the intersection will look like the one coming off 99 to.
X61 and G56. It looks like that. Yeah, it does. Except it's wider aprons to make the turn better. It's got bigger curves, radiuses than G56 has. Yeah. Because they're running on the gravel road shoulder there. Yeah. To make the corner. Yeah, you have no choice to. Yeah. Yeah. But it does remind me of that, if you think about it. But it's not what I envisioned. I just said that because you're not what I had in mind. I was envisioning an interstate type of. Maybe not quite that big, but. It was.
Did somebody approve 11?
No, we haven't.
There's.
Yeah.
I don't think that was a.
Well, it's just for our.
It's just a review.
Review, it's not a
It's not a,
Cause he's elected, so. But I will do, or you wanna do that, Sean, is it your turn to do the military 4 or 12?
You're not gonna insult me if you make that motion. But if you want me to, I'd be happy.
It's up to you.
I think it's Quigley's.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we allow and disallow military homestead and disabled veteran applications for 2023.
I'll second that.
okay, you got a motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Right.
Have stamps, will travel.
You're a lifesaver.
You ran up there, see next.
The intersection yet? No, I haven't. I've
Right.
run over it a couple of times. It looks pretty impressive from the air.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to probably do that.
Cause
Cause I remember him sitting here saying something about a bank,
Signature for the.
but I
Subdivision.
To make her notarize all these too, I was really wear out her stamper.
I'll do that before the next.
I
meeting,
use it
so we
very
can
much.
talk about it.
So, it's got plenty.
Have you seen a dozer show up yet?
I haven't been there today, but no.
Oh, I screwed that one up, signed at. Boardroom.
I know he hasn't picked up the sheep store yet. I went back there yesterday and it was still there, so.
Do they want a time or? Boardroom?
Yeah. The water down. Flat grass.
Thanks so much, Joe.
It is, went to 95% weeks.
Like this.
Did you have anything to add on Adam's behalf?
No, he didn't give me any.
Okay. Yeah, I think next week we'll have some questions for us. We don't have anything this week.
IBC told you know.
So you know.
No, shoot, my bike hasn't turned wheel in 3 years.
And I wouldn't want to be out there this week.
Oh, my God.
So,
Way too hot. Way
Thank
too
you.
hot. So do you have some more you wanted or?
nope. That's our business.
Oh, okay.
Thank you much.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
No problem.
No, I just.
Well, we don't have any other business, do we?
We did this week in adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
9:35.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Should have pointed one of you guys to, where's my signature here?
Yeah, I rubber stamp, don't you?
Well, they don't work too good on this.
Got a date.